I'm advocating, look, I'll tell you like this. For me, the Rebbe, he said today, he said a bunch of times, and it's really true. You listen to the Fabring, Yud Aleph Nissen and Tafshin Yud Aleph. I mean, Yud Shvat and Tafshin Yud Aleph. And people are sitting there and they're like, Lisa, Rebbe, a mimer, and everybody's sitting, the Rebbe should say a mimer, and the Rebbe says a mimer, and he says a sikha, and all the Rebbe, whatever. I'm not, and you've all heard this, the recording many times, etc. But if you think that anybody in that room had any idea of what that where we would be now, you're out of your mind. Out of your mind. The Rebbe's cook. But the Rebbe's cook is not for you. He's an in all kinds of ways. The Rebbe mother. The Shvat comes, and we could. So you could sit here. I have to say, I asked Arthur what should I talk about. So you should talk about his kashrus. His kashrus is like the most nauseating. It's like nauseating. How can I be Kushai? When I wake up, I hear like when I wake up in the morning, do I think about the Rebbe's face before I wash Negelmas? Are you kidding? What I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay, fine. You know what I'm saying?
Essentially.
Oh, it's working now?
So what?
Yes, the new link.
So,
New link.
and then
Send me.
Just sent it to you.
But what opportunities do you have? Everybody has crazy opportunities. Crazy opportunities. Amazing opportunities. It's just a matter of embracing them or doing something. And who but the Rebbe? It's really, to me, one of the most interesting things about the Rebbe is the Rebbe.
Now it's not
So many,
recording.
considers, first of all, whenever I teach this, it's really Nivra Ha'olam. It's a basic idea. Think about how it sounds. It sounds like the most yeshistic statement you could. Bishvili Nivra Ha'olam. Let me do it. This is Judaism. Puts a premium on humility. Bishvili Nivra Ha'olam doesn't sound too humble, but it is. But when you understand what it means, then it's unbelievable. So we have to, but the Rebbe month, and the Rebbe, and the other thing that's interesting is that there used to be a joke. I don't know if we still tell it. They always tell it. That by Bretzlav, everybody is depressed, and that's why there was Pesimcha. And by Lubavitch, it's big yesh. But that's what we're talking about, bittul. I didn't know this. I mean, that's all, right?
It's not such a big joke.
It isn't such a big joke. It wasn't such a big joke. Okay. It's not even such a big joke. Right. But the Rebbe, interesting, but you think about these answers the Rebbe gave to the Yesh's questions. When people would say, when some guy would say, I think I'm a dos, and I really could, and the Rebbe would say, okay, so do it. You think you're that? Okay, buddy. So don't think it, do it. Not, I'm going to beat you up and tell you you're a dos, and then, like what Steinsaltz would say, Steinsaltz was a thing where they had a Fabrini with him, and he's sitting there, and finally they said, like 3 o'clock in the morning, they finally said, you're this and you're this, and you have to write a kashrus to the Rebbe and give everything over to the Rebbe and say you're a nothing and you're a this and this. And they're going on and him for like 3 hours, like beating the crap out of him. And finally, like at the end of the Fabringit, he says, yeah, I did it 3 years ago. Okay. And then what? As was. That's a Rebbe, because that's not, and then what? So that's not the idea. The idea is, the Rebbe's not interested in this stuff. The Rebbe's interested in simcha. The Rebbe's interested in upbeat. The Rebbe's interested in accomplishing. In terms of Ahavas Yisrael, so I have to tell you, everybody's dirty laundry to tell you like this one, how we did whatever. It's not necessary. Because you know what? I guarantee you that when you walk into the Beis Medrash, into the shul or whatever, and you see a yid that has a problem, you don't need any explanation to understand. You have to care about him and ask about him and help him, etc. It's not something that's the bottom line. When you're in a place like this, that's the bottom line. If each one of us will take care of the crazy thing that happened, we lost, unfortunately, a shliach this week. Right? This lady, beautiful, unbelievable guy. Beautiful. Close up, close. Beautiful. What happened? The life insurance, nobody has to pay life insurance. They made $1.5 million campaign to help them. But we shouldn't wait to make, so people die to make $1.5 million campaigns. Don't have to wait for people to die. We have to do these things while people are alive. First, we have to do things when they die, for sure. But we have to do things when people are alive. We have to take care of each other now. And in a place like this should be Gan Eden. Not a vacation. Not a place where you go to park yourself because you, I'm sorry, I'm talking out of turn. Not a place you park yourself because you need a place to live because you're a lubavitcher. You don't need a place to live because you're a lubavitcher ever. A lubavitcher shchuna is a special place. It's the Rebbe's place. It's the Rebbe's place. The Rebbe's place. So what does the Rebbe feel about being here? Look, I think, like I said, this to me, believe it or not, it's a big simon that we're doing okay over here. It's a crazy thing. If I had 4 bottles of single malt on the table, I would have a different feeling. But this already gives me an idea. Either that people are very cheap.
This is the first time we had such a thing.
Anyway.
I'm sorry, I want to push back.
Good, you can push back.
No, but I want to understand.
What's your name?
Doesn't
No, it doesn't.
I'll tell you later.
No, you tell me now.
You're judging me. I don't want you to judge me.
I'm not judging you.
I'm judging you.
Center, his name is Center.
What? Yanko Berkowitz, from where? Okay. Okay. No, I want to tell you, when I went to Detroit with my son, I really appreciate it. And I loved Shul Wilhelm when he was there. I mean, he got sick and he went.
Anyways, I just want to ask you, the chiluk of chabad is that every person, like you said, is a man who has to be out there.
Right.
Problem is, when you talk about chiluk of chabad, so by default, you have 2 people. One person that is never, he's not a shliach. So his whole is supposed to be a Kehilas and then a lawyer, and he's supposed to be a Rashta Bahar, and all of a sudden now he's going to be a lawyer. So or he's sitting with those talents and he's just suppressing them, or he's checked out, he's not interested. So the whole concept of Kehilah, the way it's supposed to be, the other Kehilas works. Because, okay, you're a balabas, you never dreamt in your life you can open your mouth, or you even have a cry. So now you have a situation where it's like,
You're doing okay speaking.
I'm just asking a question. So you have a Rav, you say, okay, we'll give it all to the Rav. He'll be the talking.
The Yankel's
We'll
the
be
first guy.
listening. We'll have a chazan. We'll connect ourselves to the Eibishter. We'll sing and dance for us. And we'll have a bunch of puppets doing a bunch of things. And I'll have a good life.
Yeah, okay.
That's what a community is. That's the seer of every community.
Did you learn any secrets
How do you have this
about
guy in the
Kehilas?
sacri of Chabad Kehilas? I'm trying to understand this. Just a question.
Okay,
Maybe I-
just a quick, this is like asking a Jewish question. I'm making a speech for 5 minutes, and at the end, it's a question. Hello, Mazel Tov. What do you do for a living? What do you do for a living?
Come on, yes, you do.
You had food? Did you
What I
have
should
food?
be doing?
No, what did you do? What do you have food in the Shabbos? Yes, what, how'd you get, somebody gave it to you or you made it? Look, it's nice to say, but that's, first of all, anybody who's been in lubavitch for 5 minutes knows that the joke is not such a joke, and that people have opinions, especially in this group. And if they have opinions, they also have goals, they have thoughts, and it's, people have been able to do a lot of things here. So the fact that you live in a community and you have a Rav and you have a Mashpia and I have a Mashpia. I check in with my Mashpia all the time. I checked in with my Mashpia before I came here. Do this. That doesn't mean I don't have a day. It doesn't mean I don't think anything. It doesn't mean whatever. It's what it is. But the question is, are we thinking about what we could accomplish? That's the question. The fact you're in a community is one thing. But the other thing is, even in a community itself, to think about what the possibilities are in the community. The possibilities that there are in a community are incredible. That's, first of all, in terms of learning, second of all, in terms of taking care of each other, third of all, in terms of mifsoyim, in terms of mifsoyim and in terms of having an effect on others, in terms of chinuch for your kids. Are we challenging ourselves? Are we pushing forward? Are we doing more? What are we doing? What's going on? That's a question. Look, I don't know exactly why I'm thinking about this now, but one of the most traumatic things that I went through in my life is something you can't read about too much because the Rebbe buried it, which is the building of the mikveh in Crown Heights.
Oh my God. I'm crying.
So the mikveh in Crown Heights.
500.
The mikveh in Crown Heights. This is, by the way, and I'm just saying, you won't. No.
Oh.
No, it's in the members.
Mikveh
The
Noshim.
mikveh nashim in Crown Heights. So what happened with the mikveh nashim in Crown Heights? You're not going to find this. You have to dig to find this situation. So the Rebbe started talking about.
Where's Wilhelm?
Huh? The Rebbe started talking about we need a new mikveh. Listen, huh? Oh, he's there. Oh, you're a Willow? Which Willow are you? Oh, nothing. Okay, good. Where's Shaul? You talk to Shaul ever? Okay.
I don't think I get it. It's not related.
No, so you're, okay.
He has some cousins though that he doesn't.
Okay, his cousin doesn't,
He's the Tzuddik.
thank God. He's a Susan coming in. Okay, listen, okay.
Yaakov, you're looking in a mirror.
All right, anyway. But this is, there's a lot about this story which is hard. So the Rebbe that year started talking about rebuilding a new mikveh. Now, think about, I don't know what kind of mikveh you have here. I might be getting myself into trouble about mentioning this. But,
It's too late, you're already in trouble.
I'm in trouble, come on. I know you're
all right, so I'll pledge, if you need a new mikveh, I'll pledge $1,000 to make a better mikveh.
It's recording.
It's recorded. It's not a joke. Doesn't mean I have it, but I'll find it. Anyway, so the mikvah on Union Street was, mikvah, it's, thousands of women are using it. And there was, in plain English, shvacha maisos. Thousands of women are using it. And if you think about all of these mikvahs that are now being built in fancy places, they have with piped-in music and this and this and beautiful. Because a woman should go to the mikvah, she should feel like it's a spa. She should feel special going, right?
Ruslan.
And but not like Ruslan. Yeah. And, like when we built our mikvah, Gershon Grossbaum said like this: the women that are going to go to the mikvah anyway will go in a mud hut. Everybody else, if it's not, hoo-ha, then they're not, forget it. I'll tell that story. I have to tell a story afterwards about our mikvah, but just to say, to be Yetsu, to tell stories whenever. That's all. Anyway, so no, the beginning of the story, not the end of the story. All right. So what happens? So the Rebbe starts talking about building a mikveh, a harsh from Wasser, with a woman that people are not going to use it and stuff like this. And anyway, the Rebbe kept on asking. And so what happened? As Jews, as good Jews, what happened? They made a committee. Rebbe loved committees. Everybody knows that. So that was a favorite thing. How many committees get made? There was a committee and another committee, and finally the Rebbe had talked about it so many times. I was there for this for bringing it. It was like I said, it was. The Rebbe starts off by saying, huh? Right, he's going to sell 7-7.
Sold it.
But no, but right. But if you look at the Sikha, which he didn't let he withdrew at all. He stopped. First thing the Rebbe said was that the words that if a person speaking is in your Shemaim, for him the Shemaim. So obviously it's felt. So the Rebbe blames himself. That was what. Then the Rebbe says, basically, that if I don't have the plans and if I don't have the money on my desk tomorrow morning by whatever time, I'm selling 770 because you're allowed to sell a shul to build a mikveh. So here you have a community. And not only have a community, but you have a Rebbe. And not only have a Rebbe, you have a Rebbe. It's not like guessing what we need to do. For a blacha, the Rebbe said, here, this is what we need. So that's, look, me and a bunch of other people just, emptied our bank accounts, and some of us emptied our bank accounts of money we didn't even have. And the Rebbe got the money he needed that he didn't need, but the money that he was requesting, and the situation happened. But so that's the idea. I just want to tell the story with our mikvah, just to be it's telling stories, nothing like this. So we had this shul of Vilna, which is a beautiful shul, and it was very nice, and it was very beautiful, and it was very Hasidic and Hasidic and whatever else it was, all the other things. It was nice. In Philly.
Yes.
Center City. Basically Center City, South Philly, Center City.
Friday night. I was there only Friday night.
You were only there Friday. We went there for Shabbos.
I was there. We had to go to other shows.
We had to go to another show. Oh, you had to go. Yes, okay. So every Shabbos was had a fabring, and every Shabbos, whatever it was, a nice place. But So the story goes, so my son-in-law is Zev Baram, and he's friends with this crazy man named Mendel Grossbaum, if you know Mendel Grossbaum, who we spent Shabbos this week with Mendel. And Mendel's father is Gershon, and they build mikvahs all over the world. Huh? Yeah. And Mendel has this like a juke cup that he has to build mikvahs. It's like an obsession, which is, it's a good, you're gonna have an obsession, that's a good obsession to have, right? So he came, however, whatever reason was, twice a year they would come always, maybe more than that, but twice a year would come, and every Shabbos after shul we have a farbringen, and every farbringen, Mendel would say, so Menachem, where's the mikvah? I'm like, I have a shul, I don't need a mikvah, and blah, 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 leave me alone. And it would be, and we would do this would going on for like 5 years. And finally, my wife was also saying the same thing to me, like, Menachem, there's like a lot of, anyway. So, finally, Mendel says to me at this farbringen, he says, okay, so where's the mikvah? I said, okay, I'm not, we're making a mikvah. We're making a mikvah. We have a chlata at the farbringen, we're making a mikvah. Okay, huh? Where's the money?
We made it a committee.
We didn't make any committees. I was a committee, right here, this is the board, over here. Okay, so the next day, as soon as it's over, I start calling all my balabat. And I have to say, I've been at the University of Pennsylvania for 45 years, and I have some gesunde balabatim. People, a bunch of people out of that group, they could build a mikveh and a bunch of other mikvahs themselves, no problem. Alumni or people that support us in different ways.
We're saying you can keep your $1,000 if you listen to me.
I'll give you the names all you want. Go ahead. I'll give you the names. Anyway, the next day I start calling these people, and every single one of them tells me the same thing in nice ways or in nice ways, or not nice ways. They say 3 words: go to hell. That's it. Goodbye. We give you money because you work with college students and young professionals, and this has nothing to do with anything. And goodbye, and that's it. And gay fight finished. Goodbye. So now I have a chlata. I've talked to every single one of them, by the way, except for one. Every single one of them they're giving money to the mikvah, but that's a long story for later.
Oh, they want
It did end up.
Except for one.
One time he had told me about this mikvah that's going to be built, and I was very upset that she was going to turn to a mikvah.
Okay.
Oh, come on, you were
All right,
I
listen.
didn't have, I had a long time to be.
exactly.
You and Neil. Anyway, so the story goes. So now I have a chlata and I have no money, and it wasn't what I expected. So I had a seder like this that I go to see the alumni. My alumni are in Manhattan. So I would do like this. This is what I would do. I take a train into Manhattan, and then I'll go, and I had one alumnus that would pay for a car, and I would go and sit in the car, and I'd be able to learn whatever it was, and I would go to the oil, and I take a 5:01 train, 5:10 train, gets in like 6:30. You get in the car, you go to the oil. Sometimes it's traffic, but I'm sitting in the car. I'm able to learn. I'm able to do whatever. I have my phone. Go to the oil, and then I come back to Manhattan. I'm able to I have a first appointment by say 10 o'clock. And this was anyway, this particular month, Tuesday it was, and already had gone through this whole group of about 35 balabatim, and all of this have declined. Tuesday, I decided I'm going to do this. I'm going to go, and I'll come, and I'll go into Manhattan to meet my alumni. The only thing is, my first appointment was like 12 o'clock, so I didn't need to use the Rebbe's money, it's my balabas, but it's the Rebbe's money, to go in the car, so I said, okay, I'm going to go by public transportation for the first time. You take the E train, I figured out how to do this, by the way, much faster, and at this point, it's faster than taking a car. But you take the E train to a bus and then you walk. So I decide this is what I'm gonna do. I'm not taking the Rebbe's money. I'm gonna go and I'll go to the oil and that's it. That's it. So I go to the oil and now I have, like I said, I have a hachwata and I have no money and I have all my balabatim that told me to go to hell. Mazel tov. I get to the oil. I put on my tefillin. I almost started davening. I get a phone call from Mendy Mengel.
Oh,
Shliach in South Jersey, a good friend. He says, Menachem, are you still building that mikveh? What? You're asking me what? If I'm building what? He says, are you still building the mikveh in Center City? I'm like, I didn't tell him that I'm building. I mean, I told him like 3 months before that I wanted to build, that it would be an idea to build a mikveh. But what had happened in the last week, he had no idea. So Menachem, are you still building the mikveh in Center City? Yeah. I have $100,000 for you. Call this guy. I did. That was the beginning of the project. So that's our mikveh. That's why, at that point, there was no turning back. The Rebbe gave me such an answer. It's like, hello, hello, hello.
How long from then?
Huh?
How long from then did it take?
Took a few, look, not as long as my house,
Well, no,
The
nothing
house.
takes that long. Based on mikvah.
not as long as my house. Anyway, so,
and the shul became a mikveh?
Yeah, the
You
shul's
gave
a
up the shul?
yeah.
No, give him the
I
shul.
mean, we can learn, we could daven, we have a shul upstairs, but we don't use it.
Why not?
I mean, the shul became a mikveh, but I want to tell you that, the second week we built the mikveh, a woman calls my wife, she says, I've been thinking about going to the mikveh for like 10 years, but now that you built it across the street from my house, I have to go.
Oh.
So, that's, especially in a place like Center City, Philadelphia, where people don't have cars, I mean, people use, it's a very, very big thing. And it's been incredible. It's been incredible. It's been really, but a mikveh is, I don't know what kind of mikveh you have here, but,
Is it nice?
You know, go tomorrow morning.
Huh?
Take it there tomorrow
No, not the women's mikveh, I hope not.
No, if you want, you
No. Anyway, so that's the point. My point is that in terms of what happens with other shluchim or this other kind of stuff, Tylo, hello. In terms of what you want to know, like all kinds of the Turk with other shluchim.
No, that wasn't me.
Yeah, it wasn't. So Christian took us, whoever that was. But,
I'll let him know.
Yeah.
I have no
Okay,
problem letting him
You got him
know.
know. But no, it's not. It's everybody. You don't need for Abbas Yisrael, like I said. But the Rebbe would say for the Mitzrayim, you don't need. You don't need like a whole, chart. You need to be thoughtful. You need to take the opportunity. It's like this. If there are people in this room that are successful in business, and I imagine there's like one or two, maybe not more than one or two, but there's one or two. Nobody has to tell you. What? What's your name?
Same as you.
I don't know what it was. Huh? You're Mendel, okay. Nice to meet you, Rabbi. All right, anyway. Anyway, I'll say like this. If you are somebody, and I don't know how many people in this room that have ever made money in business. I don't know. The people that make a little money in business, or a lot of money in business, I guarantee you that when an opportunity comes up, you don't have to be told 3 times, oh, look into this. A person who's really in business, like right away, they see an opportunity, like, oh, let me look into this. And then they're not lazy and they do. Abbas Yisrael is exactly the same thing. I'm standing next to a Jew. I don't know what's going on with him or her. I want to know. And that's how a community is built in a healthy way. And that's the idea of Abbas Yisrael. So it's the same thing. So it's the same thing here with look, and with shlichus, it's, with shlichus, it would be a similar thing with other shluchim, whatever, so. Anyway, like I said, I'm coming in as a guest, and I'm sure that this, Wilkes-Barre is, an exemplary place, because you have the right kind of mashka. But, just in terms of Ahavas Yisrael, it could always be, Ma'alim B'Kodesh could always be better. And I'm just saying that, to me, it's a dream. To me, it's a dream to have a place where people are really taking care of each other, where people are really thinking about each other. And like I said, it's not, so, anyway.
Nigga.
Huh?
Nigga.
The niggin, so it's enough, Spitzer. She was saying, shut up, Spitzer. I get you.
No. He meant that.
No, he meant, it's okay. It's okay. Anyway, l'chaim.
He
Chaim.
goes
So
out
where's
his
your
way to
l'chaim?
help everyone.
Where's your l'chaim? Chaim. So where's the niggin?
Come on,
Okay.
Shabbos moves.
Okay, good. So we left 7:30. 7:30. It's less than 2 hour ride. An hour, 3 hours, and 45 minutes. Okay. That's what they were Shimon, so that's what happened. Hi, hi. What's your name? You. Avram what? Struck. So, not to harp on this, but to harp on it. So you said before, so you're like in a community, so you have balabas, and you have a rub, and you have it. It doesn't work like that. Life doesn't work like that. You don't think, and more than that, you don't think about yourself like that. We don't think about ourselves like that. We don't wake up in the morning and say, "Oh, what's the, what does the Rav want? What does the Mashpia want?" We think about whatever I want, and that's the way it's supposed to be. I mean, you get an opinion. I'm sorry, you ask the Rav every so often for whatever. You're supposed to ask the Rav whatever you want. Whatever you want, they ask the Rav. Yes, a mashpia, whatever. But at the end, so the whole what does the Rebbe want? The Rebbe wants that. The Rebbe doesn't say don't think about yourself. The Rebbe says, don't think about yourself, don't give yourself excuses. Know what you could do. Know what you could do. Because what happens in that scenario is you say, oh, when it comes to, community things, big things, somebody else will do it. But that's not really the case. Change starts because somebody wants to make a change. Period. To make it, and if you think it should happen, if you're the one that thinks, look, it's the famous sikha with the Baal Shem Tov looking in the mirror, tell everybody knows. I said, if you notice a problem in somebody else, it means that it means that you have the problem yourself and you can correct it. So what does that mean? It means, and that's he also talks about what does it mean? It means. So what's the difference if you thought about it? What's the difference if you recognize a problem in somebody else? What's the difference if you correct it? What's the difference is that you could change yourself, you could change the world. That's the idea. So the problem with when we live in places where there's a lot of people that look like this, black and whites, then we say, somebody else will do it. If you thought about it, don't wait for somebody else to do it. Never. It's not the Rebbe's Shita. Rebbe's Shita is not that somebody else should do anything else. Rebbe's Shita is if you think it needs to be done, do it. Do it. If you don't know how it's going to be done, it's okay. Do it. And a place like this should be a place which is like bubbling. It should be a place which is bubbling with all kinds of activity and all kinds of ideas and all kinds of, craziness. It's okay. Lubavitch shkunas have been crazy for a long time. We continue the tradition. But before it was crazy with people walking around davening until 5 o'clock in the afternoon and talking to themselves and everything else like that. I'm sure that happens here. Everybody's davening barichas and learning Chassidus from 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm sure, I'm positive that it's happening. But in case that's not happening, because in Dor Shvi, it's not exactly what everybody's doing. The fastest Shachris I ever davened, the fastest Shachris you could ever daven was the Erev Yom Kippur Shachris at the Rebbe. Remember that? That Shachris was like, if you blinked, you lost that one. It was like, the Rebbe said the Rebbe said that if you're a minion which is davening more than a half an hour, it has a shaykh to Chassidus. I don't remember where it was, but it's someplace. That I don't know that minion was 30 minutes. The Erev Yom Kippur minion. So, like I said, it's not. I'm not used to such a lineup as this. I am used to different. But the fact is that there's a power here. It's the Rebbe's shchuner. It's the Rebbe's place. So then what? So is it a vacation or is it a place where you're gonna do something? Anyway, like I said, it's not for bringing this talking to yourself out loud, and I don't want to talk. I'm not here to give lectures to you. I'm here to talk to myself and to really think about Yud Shvat. Mashiach. The Bible is not. We can't see Mashiach here. The Maimer in Mem Hey, the Rebbe says that the Nevuah is here, right? When the Nevuah is here, we just don't have the Kehilas to see it. So it's the same thing. But Mashiach is here, but the Rebbe gave us already the Kehilas for this. You have to open your eyes. So that's what we have to do, each one of us. It's not for somebody else to do. Not for somebody else to do. Anyway, Tyler, it's nice to see. Rabbi Tyler, it's nice to see you.
Hi.
I like your father a lot. I love you. I'm sure you do also, but it's beautiful man. Anyway.
Good.
So,
You miss Philadelphia?
what's going on? Late. What about another nigga?
What kind of more than you're saying? Drinking gas.
Okay. Another nigga.
Yaakov, wat gaan dingen? You lived in Philly? Oh, a long time ago. So you're talking about what, 25 years ago? How do you remember you? Yeah, well done.
So there's a fella that I went to college with. His name was Benjamin Emmer. Probably some people here might know some of his kids.
From Chicago? Chicago?
He's a physicist. Emmer.
Oh, it's on the Yerman.
And interesting thing, speaking of Abbas Yisrael, so many people write letters to the Rebbe, who wrote letters to the Rebbe, and he got an answer, he didn't get an answer, whatever. In Yemen, when we were in college, you would get answers from the Rebbe all the time, but you have to know the letters that he wrote. We would write a letter to the Rebbe, which was like every person that he met that needed some sort of a brother, he would have a letter. He would write a letter to the Rebbe. It was like 3 pages, not of him asking for himself, but it was be like every person he came into contact with that needed this, and needed this, and needed this. And those letters, the Rebbe, you get a response like this in 2 seconds. The letter would go into the Rebbe. My letters would go into the Rebbe. I got 3 weeks later. I'm calling Benjamin. Hello, right? You know, he is like sending to the Rebbe. He's getting like. So, you know, it's a very. That's what I'm saying. I'm harping on this sense because I also have to work on it myself. Anyway, Yud Shvat, and we have to get it done. We have to do what the Rebbe's asking. We have to meet us, Rambam, Abbas Yisrael, davening.
I done everything.
Do it again? Okay, later.
Everything I done.
Right? Checklist. Listen, the Rebbe, at the end of every forbidden, the Rebbe would give you a checklist. It's not, the Rebbe wasn't embarrassed to give us a checklist. It's not like, story I wanted to tell.
Not a dirty word.
I don't even know why, but I love this story, and I think it's a lesson to everyone. There's whatever. A woman who became from an chabad house who's done a lot of amazing things. But the story with her is the following story. It's an interesting story. So there was, we get a call. We just came to university. We just came to set up the chabad house. We set up the chabad house. It's very precarious, you know. I had somebody living in my living room for like the first 3 months. We moved to Philadelphia. Her name, she was a psychologist, and she would come for Shabbat. She would be there. She was living in my living room. So she would critique every Shabbat. She would critique like how people would come. I would thank them for coming. She would berate me after they left. Like, why do you thank them for coming? I mean, why not? Like, whatever. I mean, craziness, you know, especially in the beginning of the shul. Crazy. So, story is, I'll tell you who it is. It's Hindalea Sharfstein, who's the person that runs Beis Khan, actually. So the story with her is that, is this thing still going on?
No.
You didn't turn it off or not?
Nice.
It was off.
Huh?
It was off.
It was off?
Nice.
Turn it off, will you?
No, wait. Philly wants to see, your family's watching.
My family's watching?
Yes.
No.
And so's
No.
my wife and a
With it me.
couple of your fans are around.
My
Who?
fans,
Yeah.
okay, that's okay, they don't need to watch.
Who's watching now?
They requested to see this.
Who?
All right, anyway, so the story, no, but then, you know, and she doesn't remember this, which is really strange. But it's a big lesson for us in terms of what, the effect you have on people that you don't even know you have on people. So we get a call from this woman, Chana Fain, her name is. She's all the show. She's not alive anymore. She had become from her husband, so to speak, whatever he was not from famous saxophone player, actually. She calls us in for Shavuos, the first year we came. Let's come for Shavuos. Okay? For Shavuos. Before she comes, she tells us she has a profoundly autistic daughter. Whatever. I don't care. We don't care. Whatever. She comes. The daughter, spent the whole Yontif Shavuos throwing everything on the floor. Every meal was everything. Most stuff would end there. On the floor, Danish and I carried the other daughter, the one who was, whatever the word is, normal, whatever that means, whatever. We carried her to shul because the Rebbe said, because of Sarah Divros, that was one of the first years the Rebbe talked about bringing children to shul. We carried her we took turns carrying her to the only place there was a minion there, because Penn didn't have a minion at that time. It was about 2 mile walk. And whatever. Okay. And so Hannah had a beautiful Yom Tov, and we were very accommodating and everything else like this. Very nice. Good. But there were no students around at that point. So she called me after Rosh Hashanah. So at Rosh Hashanah, we were living, our chabad house was about a third of the size of this room. The first chabad house that we had, not now, but the first one, about a third of the size of this room. So maybe up to here, right? Maybe. And Rosh Hashanah, we had 100 kids there. And that's universities, and we're not talking like lubavitchers or some sort of other, we're talking like kids from like fancy places on Long Island and whatever. They're not used to this kind of treatment. Whatever, they got used to it. Anyway. But she calls me after Rosh Hashanah, she says, I want to come for Yom Kippur. I said, Hannah, when you came this summer, we were able to give you all kinds of accommodations. It says, you're going to come for Yom Kippur, you're going to be in a space which is nothing by nothing, and you have no place for, her name was Astara, the girl, her name is Astara, so she's still around, even though her mother's not around. And I'm telling you, I'm fine for you to come, but you're going to have to be a human jungle gym. A star is not having any place else that she's going to have to crawl on your head and on your shoulders and on your legs, and you're going to be her jungle gym, her whatever you call it for the day. And if you're ready for that, that's fine. You can come. She says, yeah, listen, I want to come to you. I want to be there. I want to be in your shul. I want to come, and blah, blah, blah. And so she comes. So fine, okay. So I'm just telling you, there's not going to be any space for her to go anywhere. She's going to be on your head and on your shoulders and on your nose and that's it, the whole time. 26 hours. You ready for that? Fine. Okay. Mazel tov. She said, fine. She's going to do it. They try to talk her out of it. She wasn't going to talk out of anything. She comes and kacham. This girl scrolling on her head and on her shoulders and on her knees and she couldn't, and that was it for the entire time. As soon as the girl was awake, she was all over her. And and this young woman from Long Island, Helen, standing there. So at the end of Shabbos, at the end of Yom Kippur, she comes over to us And she's whatever. She starts asking more questions, and she's been coming anyway for dinner, for this, for whatever. Anyway, it ends up that in the next week or so, 2 or 3 weeks, she starts keeping Shabbos. She starts keeping everything. Unfortunately for society, she dropped out of Penn and went to yeshiva, went to Machar, went to Beis Chana after that, and after that took over Beis Chana eventually. But University of Pennsylvania dropout. Never. Anyway, but when I asked her, I said, in the layer, like, what got you? What was the thing that got you to do this? Like, what was the impetus? You know, I thought maybe it was like one of my speeches or something. No, she says what it was Yom Kippur watching Hannah Fain and her daughter. So I never saw anybody that was so committed so committed. If she could do that, and I have to really think about my commitment. I have another interesting story like this. By the way, this is also when we're all thinking about our Isis, there's another interesting story. So when I was in yeshiva, we was doing Psoim in Rutgers before Yossi Karlbach came and the whole shvira, whatever you want. I'm not going to get into this now. But speaking of problems. But so we used to do a lot of Psoim there. And I went to Syracuse University, so I would always go. So what happened is in Morristown, I was running SAC, and I would go to Syracuse for the major holidays, like Sukkot, Purim, Hanukkah. I would run activities in Syracuse, and the rest of the time I would run activities in all the other places, especially Rutgers. Okay. Purim's
Because
coming.
before there's a shliach at Syracuse.
Yeah. Before there was a shliach at Syracuse or Rutgers. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. We would use your father's car to drive to Rutgers. Anyway, comes Purim, and we're going to make a pu'ula in what's called the Student Center in Rutgers. It's called the Ledge. We got permission, we booked the whole thing, we have a band coming, we have this coming, and I called Castriel Castel from Lubavitch, I said, I need a speaker to come to bring a little bit, before the program, whatever. Do me one favor. You send somebody, look, it's Purim. When you send Bachrim, a lot of times, sometimes the Bachrim come and they just talk about the Rebbe. It's good to talk about the Rebbe, but because they like at least talk about whatever mitzvah it is or whatever day it is or something about the house, like at least something about Purim. Talk about the Rebbe, yes, but at least say it's Purim. Say it's Purim. Like maybe talk about the mitzvahs, talk about what you can do the next day. I think the Rebbe would appreciate that. You know what I mean? The Rebbe would appreciate that. Strill says, yes, I'll send Gabriel Merzel when he was a younger man, before he got married. And because he's a good friend of mine, so I'm telling the story anyway. If my wife's listening, she knows the story, she knows I love to tell the story. Anyway, so Gabriel comes, and they have the party. He has a farbrengen, and the person who's running is Baruch Klar, who's now also has a chabad house in North Jersey. And he's like there, he's the point person, and I'm in Syracuse running, that's whatever's going on in Syracuse, and he's there running the thing. I come back, I said, Baruch, what happened? He says, did you ask Kestel to tell him to say something about Purim? He said nothing about it. Could have been Rosh Hashanah, it could have been he talked about the Rebbe. He had a big l'chaim, and after that, it's the Rebbe. It could have been Purim, it could have been Yom Kippur, it could have been, it doesn't make it, nothing about Purim, nothing. What? So, okay, yeah. Anyway, so, all right. So I'm like, I call Costello afterwards, I say, Rabbi Costello, with all due respect, could we, next time, could you at least, or whatever? Okay, fast forward. I get married, we go to University of Pennsylvania, and we land there, our shlichus started on Purim. So whenever I started my first Purim in Hillel, trying to figure out, I guess pilfering their people or whatever. So I go to Hillel, and in the Hillel are two guys that I used to do Mifslayim with at Rutgers every week. Put tefillin on with them every week. Bob Israel and Stephen Lansky. And Stephen Lansky is talking to me, and I'm telling you, we came here, we're opening a chabad house, blah, blah, blah. They're both very excited. And this kid, Stephen, is like, he's asking me, are we going to be there? And we'll be there for Shabbos, and can you come for Shabbos? And I was like, Vice is keeping Shabbos. They're saying to Stephen, are you keeping Shabbos? He said, yeah, I've been keeping Shabbos for about a year now. He said, how come you started keeping Shabbos? Just if I could ask, we're friends. I mean, I put tefillin on this kid for like a year and a half, 2 years. Now he's keeping Shabbos. I'm like, where did it come from? Maybe it was Aisha Torah. But no, anyway. Says, there was a Purim party at the Ledge. Yeah, what about it? I know the Purim party at the Ledge. Yeah, so he says, yeah, and after that, I started out, I should be from. I should keep Shabbos. And then I said, this guy, Gabriel Merzel, told this guy, I described Gabriel to him. So he says, yeah, he was the guy, he was for bringing. He said, and that had a big effect on me. He said, what kind of effect did it have? He said, did you understand what he said? He says, not a word. Not a word. I didn't know what he was talking about. He's talking about the Rebbe, he's talking about this. I don't know what he was talking about. Nothing, I don't know nothing. He says, but I never heard anybody be so sincere about Yiddishkeit. Could be talking about anything, but I never heard somebody talk about Yiddishkeit with that type of level of sincerity. And at that point, I decided I have to think about it. Just this related stories. So if you want to know, Dvorim, Yosmer Alev, Nichnas Alev, that's 2 stories with that. So in general, it doesn't come with your titles. It doesn't come with your, fancy names. Have to be connected to Meisters. Each one of us has an opportunity. People we do business with, people we meet, for teaching children. Everybody, the Rebbe picked each one of us because we are his chassid. And being a chassid of the Rebbe is nishkin klein azach. It's a big opportunity. It's a gift. And then it's an asiyas koyach. It gives a tremendous force to each one of us. And that doesn't mean, and there's, I wouldn't say klape chutzis, but because there's no such thing with Jews. There's no such thing as inside and outside. There's nobody that's like Hunzer and this. It's all a bunch of baloney. It's all the same. It's all one thing. The people that are not yet, that don't look like you guys, because they don't look like you guys now. But everybody knows we're all related to people, all of us, that don't look like this, that don't do these things. You know, unfortunately. I wish I couldn't say that in this room, but I could say it in this room. And that's the facts. The facts are that the Jewish people there's all kinds of different Jews and all different levels of observance that are in all kinds of different situations. And we have an opportunity to affect all of them, you know, to get them in those Jews that are, you know, wear a gartel and have a sheitel or whatever it is. You know, we can help them, we can help each other. And we have to know that we have to help each other. We have to know that we have an opportunity. And the Yitzhak comes along and we have to understand the opportunity that we have to do something special, to make an effect on another Jew, to help another Jew. So the Rebbe teaches us, and that's what the Rebbe asks. So, anyway. L'chaim.
What's horrible? The mashkin?
It's made with an evidence. That's the
Back in the day, that was considered fancy. I didn't think about it.
Piece of these.
Red label.
Remember me, huh?
No, they wasn't.
Remember? Piece of leaves. Piece of leaves. How are your brothers doing? Nights or in Philly? Everyone came back home. I still remember your mother's challahs. Used to make me read only delicious challahs.
Oh, yes.
Still makes it. Hi, Menachem.
You say it. What? What color,
Yiddish. So he's like, how do you read it? I told him, I said, Aleph.
But one other story, you heard about it, and then we'll wrap it up. The Rebbe coming to Gan Yisrael,
Learning his friend.
Rebbe coming to Gan Yisrael. Rebbe came to Gan Yisrael. So of course, like Gan Yisrael in general is a place you could have a mattress in the middle of a baseball field, right? I mean, let's be honest. But the Rebbe's coming, but where did everything end up? There was one bunk. That they didn't use. There was one bunk that wasn't used. So they took Al Chazara, everything, every bracha that does, and put it into this bunk. And there's a joke. The Bakum wrote on it Zeichel L'Chorban. Inside, the bunk, not on the outside, inside the bunk. So the Rebbe's walking around because there's a Rebbe. He wants to know the kitchen, he wants to know the closet, he wants to know and they're walking around, and finally they're walking past, they're coming towards this bunk. The Rebbe says, must be, you know, so the Rebbe's like, they're like, you don't want to see that. No, yes, I do, yeah, let's go. So they come to the bunk, and like the description that I got, and whether it happened, I opened the door of the bunk, like things are like flying, like flying out. But the Rebbe doesn't know what's flying out, because listen, the Rebbe, what he can put something over on the Rebbe. But he sees this big Hasidic graffiti, Zeichel L'Chorban. The only comment the Rebbe says is, Zeichel L'Chorban. Zeichel L'Mikdash. So that's all. So Zeichel L'Mikdash. Fine. Okay, so we'll start nothing. I'd rather be on campus.
It's kind of funny. Only ship.
Oh, man.
2 hours away.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is it good? Is it a good thing?
I think it would be good for them and good for us.
What?
It would teach the youth to like and behave a little.
Do what? Yeah, what do you think?
Start a campus here, right?
Campus where?
Sorry, Chabad.
What's going on?
Over there, right here. I mean, it's probably Jewish faculty. I can't even know.
You okay?
Huh?
What's going on? I'm not so much call, don't worry.
Listen, whatever, just in the neighborhood, do we have a lot of, I have 3 on my block.
What's good on?
Yeah, my next door neighbor is selling his house.
It's all with that.
Oh, yeah?
That was in Luzerne. He's moving to Back Mountain or whatever.
What's going on?
He looks at it for 569 back. Oh, it's on the market. Yeah, he just looked at it. Yeah, it's a decent house, but I don't know.
Big. You guys are huge, man. What's going on, Dino?
People that were on that side of the street.
Yeah, yeah.
Who's your resident?
And congratulations.
You the resident scout?
It's not too big.
Yeah, he's one of the big ones.
But
What's going on?
A lot of people that.
What's going on? Peace in the Middle East.
Peace in the East. Ah, you remember?
I remember.
Peace in the East. No, hopefully soon we'll have peace in the East.
Gonna fill everyone, John. Oh.
It's peace in the East.
18 months.
I'm gonna mess this up.
Maybe I'll come this week.
Come for some.
I haven't been there since. You know that?
What?
I've been in Philly 27 years ago.
What's that? What? You begin.
Center City. We were there for 3 months, but
3 months?
Oh my
you
God.
know, 3 months on Shlich is like 3 years
You
here.
told,
Yeah,
told the whole story
about Shraga.
Shraga.
Shraga was moving, man.
Well, so
Rabbi Levine. Fine Chassid. Rai Chadoshim. Rai Betasach.
We moved to.
Lunch and learns. Students.
Never spoke about the Second World War. Leningrad siege.
Very, very nice experience.
right around when Trump was getting.
Shraga moved.
He was very involved.
So Shraga was moving. He needed somebody to help him out. Before Rabbi Goldman came.
Anybody wash?
That's why.
Oh, okay, I'll come off.
Main line.
Shame, the best thing I've ever seen.
He's doing very well.
No, but the mitzvah factory was an amazing thing.
Which factory?
The main thing they call the mitzvah factory.
Mitzvah.
It's a storefront.
Yeah.
And we had events there, and we had money, and we had all this stuff was separated. People in the mail, noticed.